Welcome back, Rankers. Couple of things happening in the next 2 weeks. If you are in Sydney this Friday, please come and say hello. I'll be doing the Digi-Talks with Quent Vitamin T Firebrand Talent. They do an amazing job of promoting these events, by the way. There's already, I think, 250 in the Sydney event. And we're doing a Melbourne event the following week, and there's already 200 there. So Sydney, Friday, May 11, and Melbourne, Friday, May 18. Just email jim@stuartmedia.com.au or Google it, and I'll send you a link. We're going to be talking about things like the stuff that we always talk about, like these sorts of numbers. How do you go from sort of this to this? That's in only about 18 months, that one. And we're discussing a lot of those sorts of things, and it's about mainly about what, stronger brands and how businesses are growing their brands, and with it their ranking. So this is Skinny Mix's data. We've had a look at this one before. She went from 1,200 organic a day to 12,000 organic a day, and she built a brand at home in Adelaide. And with SEO, digital marketing generally, it's all about, which button do you push? Which needle do you try to move? So we'll get a client in here. We just got one in recently, actually, and a retailer, and they should be doing a lot. It's a brand new site, first venture into online retail, but strong brand. And one of the ways you can check to see if you've got a strong brand is go into Google Search Console, Search Analytics, and what you want to see in there is your branded traffic. You want it to get it up at least around 50%. Now, you've got to have a reasonable sample size to start with. So as far as clicks go per month, you probably need at least, 2,000 to 5,000 at least before you're going to see any real data. But if you can get that branded search up around 50%, you're on the right track to growing your brand. Because if you grow your brand, you're going to get loyal customers, you're going to get better click-through rates, you're going to get much better conversion rates. But for this retailer who has a good brand, their conversion rate was at 0.2%. And he gave us a number that he thought the site should be doing, or he wanted to aim for. And I said, well, actually it needs to be 5 times that, because based on the traffic that you have and based on the conversion rate that you've got currently, let's get it up to X%, because you've already got traffic there. You're just not doing enough with it. So do you try to get more traffic? Are you trying to maximize the traffic that you get? Do you want to, someone asked me about bounce rate. Shouldn't we be worried about bounce rate, when I showed them that graphic of 1.7 million in 18 months from just SEO alone? And I said, well, no, because if I'm getting the right conversion rates and I'm hitting the right revenue goals, why do I care about a bounce rate metric, which, in case you don't know, the bounce rate is a metric you can see inside Google Analytics, and we're told it's about how quickly someone leaves a page. Now, when we look at, say, Google Shopping product listing ads, when you have a look at some of those numbers that people are getting there, and certainly we've seen it here with our own clients, where you're getting return on ad spend of 10 to 1, but your bounce rate's up at 70%. Does it really matter? Are you really that concerned? I think that represents something that is more about a flaw in the calculation of what a bounce rate actually means than anything else, because it's not necessarily a real thing, as opposed to a conversion rate, which is actually a real thing. So, because you can say how many people came into the page, how many people bought. Whereas a bounce rate it's a bit rubbery, I think. So it's all about, which avenue, which channel do you exploit. If you don't have any brand recognition, we're always telling people, right, we've got to do something about your brand. What are you doing? What are you doing in PR? Are you doing anything in PR? What are you doing on Facebook? So Nikki Riddle with Skinny Mixes, it's like a lot of people think, oh, we need a big, massive advertising spend. Well, that'd be great if you can do that. But if you can't do that, you can still build strong brands in your niche with your buyer personas. And that's what Nikki Riddle did, and that's what, well, thousands of bloggers have done. And bloggers really put me onto this, because you could see that their traffic increases over time, and they're really good at building communities. They're really good at the self-promotion and connecting with people. And for a lot of them, that's why they became bloggers. But their sites are also really, really easy to rank, as it turns out. And basically what they're doing, they're focusing on getting audience or readers. They're not focused on SEO. They're not focused on even AdWords. They're focused on getting exposure for their brands. And that's what you have to do. And that's what we're going to be talking about at DigiTalks in Sydney this Friday and Melbourne next Friday. We'll see you there. Thanks very much. Bye.